Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is the Imaginator. I'm here today to bring you guys and ladies my One Piece manga chapter 1049 review. The title of this One Piece manga chapter is called The World That Should Be. The German 66 cover story continues as Neji and Yanji are somehow free due to the whole lab being engulfed in flames. And the Big Mom Pirates, well, some of the members of the Big Mom Pirates that were about to operate on them are pretty much horrified. The chapter begins where the last chapter left off, where Luffy and Kaido are still collide with their strongest techniques. But then Kaido pretty much informs Luffy, "Are you're not strong enough to you're not yet strong enough to create a new world." And then after this, there's a Kaido backstory of him growing up. It started with 46 years ago in Buka Kingdom, as he was pretty much going on a riot in that country, and then the one of the individuals that were residing in that country told, well, the king within that country told Kaido that we're going to put you and have you enlisted to join the navy. Kaido obviously was reluctant and really detestable about that idea because he didn't want to be treated like a world government dog, and he was also questioning as to why everybody's obeying the celestial dragons. And then it jumps to a little bit later on when Kaido is eventually free from the country and he's in a prison ship, and there's a his very first bounty, one his very first bounty of 70 million. And Kaido and one of the Navy officers were saying he pretty much escaped. He always gets caught when he's hungry. And one of the other Marine soldiers saying, hey, what? You know, this is a prison ship, not a cafeteria. And then it goes a little forward on in God Valley. Well, just before God Valley, it was 44 years in the Pirate Island, where he first meets Whitebeard, and Whitebeard informs uh, Kaido that do you want to become a pirate, and that Rocks wants to meet him and recruit him. And one of the guys that was actually he was beaten on and the Pirate Island was he said he was 15 years old at the time, and as he was on the Rocks pirate ship, I believe one of the members, it might have been Rocks, not entirely sure, said telling informing Kaido that we're about to disembark, we're about to embark on God Valley, let him know that he's about to get off the ship. Then it fast forwards a decade later after the incident. Well, I think Big Mom was saying, "Where did that rat Kaido go?" A younger Big Mom. And then a decade later, Kaido is met by, I believe, the old lady Hagarashi, if I remember that name correct accurately. The one of the older ladies that was associated with Orochi that got him into power, running one on the first place. And she tells Kaido that, "Hey, I got a deal." And then she does her laugh. And then we see Kaido with his pirate crew, about to engage in war, about to pretty much begin his beginning of conquering Wano. And then it jumps to the present. Then actually a little bit later on, and then Kaido was informing King about Joy Boy, and King was like, "Who's Joy Boy?" And then it goes into the present. It did pretty much the whole Onigashima is pretty much flooded with water due to Jinbei and Raizo's techniques that they displayed, I believe, 2 chapters ago. And everybody that was in Onigashima is pretty much flooded in water. Net Robin and Bork are nearly unconscious due to them being Delphi users. Obviously. Nami and Otama get splashed, Usopp, King and Killer, like everybody in the Onigashima is pretty much getting swept by the water. And then uh, Yamato informs Momonosuke, that the Onigashima is going to fall due to the last flame cloud that was keeping the whole island afloat disappeared. And then, as just before Luffy's about to make the final blow, about to make contact, Momonosuke had the inner strength to produce his own flame cloud for the first time. Due to Yamato's shock of witnessing this, And then Luffy's like, I'm going to create a world where everyone can eat. And then his Bajran gun, his most powerful and biggest ginormous attack, his biggest attack ever, finally successfully lands on Kaido. And then we get there's a dialogue that King and Kaido had before, back when Kaido was younger, and he was telling I can't believe Yamato actually heard about Joy Boy, and then King is like well, Kyle's like, well, I think Joy Boy is the one that's going to beat me in the future, and then King is like, well, hopefully, well, that means that he won't ever come. And then and then Kaido is seen like just going down from the Onigashima all the way down to I believe in the ground of the of Wano, as he's be like submerged with he's pretty much in the ground, unconscious, falling after Luffy's punch, and that is the end of the chapter. I like the chapter overall. I think it was a good chapter. It was actually a great chapter. I like that we got Kaido's flashback of him growing up, his origins, and how he became who he is today. This is the sequence of events. And the water Onigashima was overwhelming, and obviously that became the lightsaber to extinguish all the flames. I like that Momonosuke finally produced, became useful by producing his very first fire cloud to keep the Onigashima afloat. And then, well, obviously, too, Momonosuke and Luffy were both unconscious too at the very end of the chapter. Yeah, I like the more dialogue more so than the action, and that the action actually happened at the last part of the chapter. After Luffy's giant enormous Byron gun punch landed finally successfully, and this is marks Kaido's defeat. And yeah, that's it. That's my review of One Piece My Chapter 1049. Hopefully, y'all all enjoyed my review. Please like the video, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to my channel, The Imagine, for more manga chapter reviews, anime discussions, and many more. With all that being said, fellow YouTubers, y'all all have a wonderful day.